Well, this engine is going to be ASPO number 47 when I complete it, and I've just started stripping it down. And during that process I had wanted to try and turn the engine, so I grabbed an old kickstart pedal that I had lying around and fitted it loosely on the gear lever, on the gearbox shaft, so that I could just hopefully turn it over. But that was well ahead, and the barrel and everything was still on as well, by the way. I wanted to move the cams off their lobes if possible, to relieve the valve gear while I undid the head. But anyway, it turned out that something felt like it was just slipping, so I thought, well, maybe there was something wrong with the clutch, or perhaps even the primary chain might have been missing or broken or something. But anyway, I couldn't I could press the kickstart, but the engine wouldn't turn. Just had another look. Now I've got the primary cover off, and you can see that the clutch, primary chain, engine sprocket, alternator rotor are all turning, although the alternator rotor nut is loose. That lot's turning, but the crankshaft certainly isn't, so that looks like the main shaft may be spinning inside the drive side flywheel. That's going to be interesting. Anyway, I'm going to have to get the engine totally stripped, because I was going to split the crank to lighten it in any case, and we'll have a look and see what's actually happened to it in the near future. Right, well, I've got the crankshaft removed from the engine, which is hopefully at some time going to be known as ASPO number 47. But I won't be putting this crankshaft in between centres before splitting it to check for run out. The simple reason we see here. This is why the gearbox and clutch were turning via the kickstart, but the engine wasn't. This main shaft has obviously worked itself loose in the flywheel, and this can result from not having the alternator rotor nut done up tightly. It's vital to have the nut done up as tight as possible, within reason, as it pulls the main shaft through the main bearings and holds it in position via the bearings and the spacers, etc., between them, and actually helps lock the main shaft into the flywheel, which is only pressed in and located by a key. Well, obviously, as we saw previously, the alternator rotor nut, I could undo it by finger and thumb. That's how it was when I split the engine, when I opened up the primary chain case, and there's been no real loading pulling the main shaft in tightly against the flywheel, and it's been able to work loose and then start chattering around and shear the key, and it certainly probably ruined the flywheel and possibly the main shaft as well. So I'm going to have to look at alternatives and new or replacement parts there, but I'll split the crank anyway, because the timing side may well be good enough, or we'll have to look for a replacement crank assembly and see how that goes. But I certainly won't be lightening or rebalancing this flywheel, I wouldn't have thought.